the first input of the following circuit is high. If we apply 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 at the other input, right? So in bracket they had given a first bit as 0. They are asking you to start from this point. Okay, so they are asking you to start from this point, right? So find the output. So first all of you please try to take this circuit. These are all given as a 3 XOR gate. One input is high, right? So other input is given as 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1. So all of you try to take this circuit. All of you take this circuit. 3 XOR gate connected in cascade, right? Now, so the input of first gate is 1 and the other is 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1. Okay, so give 3 XOR gate. Now, actually, you know the truth table of XOR gate. The truth table of XOR gate is actually if any one of the if the inputs are different, output is high, right? If the inputs are same, output is 0. Clear? If the inputs are different, the output is high. If the inputs are same, the output is 0. Right? Now we'll see the output of this. Now here the options given are 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1, 1 0 0 1 0 1 0, and option C is remains at 1. Option D is remains at 0. Okay. Right. Now, please try to solve this question and tell me the answer. What will be the answer? Actually, I had given the four options. One is 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1. Another one is 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 0. And the third one is remains at 1 and fourth one is remains at 0. Right. Now, what will be your option? Because the question is one input is high, right? Other input is given with a series of 8 bits, right? Series of 8 bits. So the bit here they had given it as a, you take the consider the first bit as a 0, right? So if I consider the first bit as 0, now what will be happening here? Right, the inputs are different. When the inputs are different, output of first XOR gate is 1. So for this bit it is actually 1. Next I am going for this bit. So in this bit actually the inputs are same, 1 1. So this bit will become 0, right? Similarly when I take this bit 1 1, this bit will become 0. Now when I go for a fourth bit, the bits are different here, so output is 1, right? When I go for a fifth bit, the bits are same, output is actually 0. When I go for a 0, the bits are different and output is 1. And again when I go for 1, the bits are same, output is 0. And here the bits are same, output is 0. Now we'll see one by one. See, you check whether you got answer for the first XOR gate, output of first XOR gate, right? Now you just take this as the reference for this input, and this one is given to all your XOR gates. Okay, all your XOR gates. Actually it is only a 1 mark question, not even a 1 mark, it is actually half mark. So you have to solve it within 1 minute, right? So you should not take more than 1 minute for this. So if I keep on solving the series of bits at one input and a 1 at the other input, a high input at the other input, and a series of bits at one input, you will get the output as 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 0. Okay, so the option is going to be B. Option B is your answer. 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 is your option, right? So this is how you have to solve. Next we'll go to a state sequence circuit. Consider the circuit below with initial state q naught equal to 1, q naught equal to 1, and q1 and q2 are equal to 0. So here it is 1 0 0. The state of the the circuit is given by the value 4q2 plus 2q1 plus q naught. Okay, right? So they had given the equation it as 4q2 plus 2q1 plus q naught. So what are the values given for q naught? Q naught is 1, right? Q naught is 1. Q1 and Q2 both are equal to 0. Now you have to resolve this. You should not apply these values as such in this equation. This is not a mathematical equation to substitute and solve this. So what you have to do is, right, first you resolve this. So how will you resolve this? Actually, you just see the output of Q1 and output of Q2 is given for the XR circuit. See, actually, I have one question with you. Why that is all in state sequences, and in most of the to generate any clock signal or state sequence, why we are using XR gate? Because XR gate only actually it will produce a clock signal very easily, right? So we are using a clock signal, right? So that clock signal can be easily generated using XR gate. That is what we are most widely using a gate in all state sequences, and in counters is actually XR gate, right? Okay, now so here Q1 is given and Q2 is given to the XR gate. Now what is my Q1 and Q2 value? Q1 and Q2 value actually it is equal to 0. When this is equal to 0, both the inputs are same. Initially both the inputs are same. When both the inputs are same, output is what? Obviously it is 0, which is given to your T naught. Okay, now we'll see a step by step procedure. Now the option given for this is actually 1 3 4 6 7 5 2, 1 2 5 3 7 6 4, 1 2 7 3 5 6 4, 1 6 5 7 2 3 4. Okay, right. Now we'll resolve this and see. Now first let me take first one. Actually I have taken what is my Q naught value. My Q naught value is going to be what? Q naught value is Q1 previous value XOR of Q2 previous value. That is what I told you in the previous slide, right? Q1 value and Q2 value of Q1 previous value and Q2 previous value, which we have taken it as a 0. Initial condition we have taken it as a 0. So Q1 previous value and Q2 previous value. And what is your Q1 value? Q1 previous value and your Q2 equal to Q1 previous value. Okay, right. So initially I have taken my Q naught value equal to 1. This is given, right? See, look at this. Q naught value is given as 1 and Q1 equal to Q2 equal to 0 is given. So initially my Q naught value is given as a 1, right? And Q1 value is 0 and Q2 value is also 0. Participant, please kindly mute the audio, right? So my Q naught value is 1 and Q1 value is 0 and Q2 value is 0, right? So when I go for the next case, right, actually you have to take this bit into consideration. My Q1 and Q2 both are 0. So if the same inputs are given to my XR gate, so what will be the output? Output is 0. That is what here Q naught is representing here as a 0, right? And next what you have to do is, next what is your Q1 value? Now your Q1 value is actually your Q naught previous value. That is what here it is connected like this, right? My Q1 value is Q naught previous value. What is my Q naught previous value? Initially I have taken here it as a 1, right? What is your D latch? Your D latch, whatever may be the input, it will just pass it to the output. So here my Q naught is 1. Now my Q1 will become 1 in this case, right? My Q1 will become in this case, and your Q2 is what? Q1 previous value. That is what? Your 0. So if you keep on, now here 1 and 0 is given to XOR gate. Now 1 and 0 is given to XOR gate, right? Now what will be the output of XOR gate? So here the inputs are different. when the inputs are different, actually output is going to be 1, which is nothing but the present input of your Q naught, right? Okay. Now, so what will be your previous input of Q1? 0. Here it is 0, and previous input of Q1 it is 1. So you have to keep on go like this. Now you need to find out what is the state. Okay, so first, in the first example, I have taken Q naught equal to 1, Q1, Q2 equal to 1, 0. So it is 1, 0, 0. You substitute the value, I will get the answer as 1. In the next case, my Q naught equal to 0, Q1 equal to 1, and Q2 equal to 0. So 4 into 0 in the next case, I am going for the next case, right? Plus 2 into 1 plus 0. So I will get answer is actually 2. So if you keep on do like this, 1, 2, 5, 3, 7, 6, 4 answer I will get. Okay, it's clear for you. 1, 2, 5, 3, 7, 6, 4 you will get, right? See, if you take the first case as Q naught equal to 1, Q1, Q2 as 0, 0, right? Now here you will get the state value as 1. The next case 0, 1, 0. 0, 1, 0 is obviously I will get the next case as 2. And the next case actually you take 1, 0, 1. So if you substitute you will get 5. And next case you will get 1, 1, 0. You substitute in the equation you will get 3, right? And next case actually you will have this 1, 1, 1. So all these conditions, see, while writing itself you will get the answer. So 1, 2, 5, 3, 7, 6, 4 you will get. So your option is actually C. 1, 2, 7, 3, 5, 6, 4. Option is actually 3. Clear? So this is the way you need to solve the state sequence. Next, we'll go actually a delay circuit. Now we'll see a delay circuit. I think we will see one or two questions from a delay, right? Now I first I'll teach one and I'll give it for practice also one question. Now for the circuit shown in the figure, the delays of NOR gates, multiplexers and inverters are, they had given for delay of NOR gate is 2 nanosecond, and delay of multiplexer actually 1.5 nanosecond, and delay of inverter is 1 nanosecond respectively. If all the inputs P, Q, R, S and T are applied at the same time instant, see, please check same time instant, or if all the inputs PQRS, right? PQRS and T are applied at the same time instant, the maximum propagation delay in nanosecond of the circuit is dash. Okay, this is your circuit. Now this is your circuit, right? So what you have here, first you observe the circuit. Here you have a mux. You have two muxes here, and I am giving an input as a T directly straight away to first mux and with an inverter to the second mux. Okay, right? Now I have a PQRS, right? So they had given for a NOR gate. Now how will you calculate the delay? Because actually if I apply here, it is a 2 nanosecond and it is 1.5 and 1 nanosecond, I'll get delay for the initial one. Now I need to calculate at the output, because you have for a mux 1.5 nanosecond. So from 1.5 nanosecond and from 2 nanosecond, you will get the output with some delay. Now what you have to do is you have to calculate two kind of delays, right? So first one you have to calculate for the first mux, the delay with the first mux. Then you have to take and you have take this delay and you have to calculate for the second mux. Not only that, here, and since I have an 1 nanosecond delay in the inverter, I am giving a t value straight away to one first mux and with some 1 nanosecond delay to the second mux. Clear? So what we have to do is, now we'll see how we are going to do this, right? The options given here are 6, 5, 10, 8. How much? Total, the output, what will be the total output delay, right? Now we'll see one by one. Now, so first case, I'm taking when t equal to 0. right? When t equal to 0, what will be the total delay? I told you we have to take two cases because t is given straight away to the first mux and it is given with a 1 nanosecond delay to the second mux. Okay, so what will be the total delay? Now when t equal to 0, your delay of NOR, okay, right? So delay of your first mux and delay of your second mux you have to calculate. Okay, right? Now, so first actually delay of your NOR. What is delay of your NOR gate? Actually it is given it as a 2 nanosecond. Delay of your first mux is what? 1.5 and delay of your second mux is what? 1.5. This is actually general delay you have to calculate. Okay, so which is your 5 nanosecond. Now you go to case 2 when t equal to 1. When I apply t equal to 1, see, in the first case when I apply t equal to 0, it is a mux, the selection line which will select 0 only. So that is what I am taking delay of actually NOR. Okay, delay of NOR because it will select this, it will not select this 1. That is what we are avoiding this NOT gate. Understand? Right? So we are selecting only this NOR gate because my t value equal to 0. So the selection line value is 0. So which will select this input line which is connected to your NOR gate which is 2 nanosecond. So obviously this is mux value is 1.5 nanosecond, right? Now obviously the output is given to the second one. So second one is 1.5. So totally 5 nanosecond, right? Now when I take t equal to 1, if I consider t equal to 1, what will happen? T equal to 1. So in the first mux, actually it will select this input which is connected with the NOT gate, right? Now when t equal to 1, right, obviously here it will become a 0. In the second mux, it will connect actually the 0 one which is connected to the NOR gate. Now how will you calculate the delay? Now the total delay is actually delay of first NOT gate because I had taken t equal to 1. When I take t equal to 1, so delay of first NOT gate. Delay of first NOT gate is actually how much? 1 nanosecond, right? So delay of first NOT gate and delay of first mux and delay of second NOT because I am giving t equal to what value? 1 value. So when I give 1, obviously here 0. So the selection line will select only this particular input which is in turn connected with the NOR gate. So delay of first NOT gate plus delay of first mux plus delay of second NOR gate plus delay of second mux. Understand? Right? I am taking t equal to 1. I repeat again. T equal to 1. So here it is selecting delay of NOT gate. So delay of this and mux, right? Since t equal to 1, it will selection line will become 0. So it will obviously select this NOR gate. So this NOR gate and this mux. Okay. So totally I am getting actually 6 nanosecond. So the maximum delay is what? 6 nanosecond. In the previous case, we got 5 nanosecond. Okay. See the options given here actually they had given 6, they had given 5, they had given 10 and they had given it as a 8. You are getting both the answers. If I take t equal to 0, I am getting a 5 nanosecond. If I take t equal to 1, I am getting 6 nanosecond, right? So you have to be checked properly, right? So with all my t equal to 1 only, what I am taking is actually here it is 6 nanosecond. Understand? Right? So what is the answer? So your option is A, right? Option A is the answer. Clear? Right. And next, we'll go to the logic gates with the same kind of delay only. Okay. Consider the circuit shown in figure. So what is the circuit shown here? The circuit shown here is with a NOT gate, AND gate and XOR gate, right? If propagation delay of NOT gate is 10 nanosecond, propagation delay of NOT gate is 10 nanosecond. Here they had given 10 nanosecond. AND gate is 20 nanosecond and XOR gate is 10 nanosecond. Okay. If A is connected to VCC, right, at t equal to 0, then waveform for output y is what? Okay. So here they have clearly shown A is connected to VCC, right? That is value is 1. They had given it as a step input which is VCC. So value is 1 here. If A is connected to VCC at t equal to 0, then waveform for output Y is what? Right? In the previous case, actually in the previous example, we have just calculated the delay. Here they had given the delay and they ask you to show in terms of a waveform. Clear? Because they had given the input VCC at t equal to 0 is what? It is maximum value which is equal to 1. Okay, so you are giving 1 to NOT gate. So obviously this become 0. So if any one of the input is 0, output is obviously 0, right? So the same high value is given here to XOR gate. If the inputs are different, output is 1. Okay, so you'll get output is 1. But what will be the delay? NOT gate delay is 10 nanosecond, because after 10 nanosecond only it will reach the input of AND gate, and AND gate value is 20 nanosecond. So it will reach this 10 nanosecond plus 20 nanosecond. After 30 nanosecond only, it will reach the XOR gate. Clear? Right. And you have XOR gate delay also. So what will be the output Y? Now we'll see what will be the options. Now the options are actually, options given are, see, option A, here they had given maximum value of 10, and this is the waveform given is a square waveform, right? But it started at the origin. It started at the origin. And next, in the option B, it started after 10 nanosecond. Okay. In option C, it started after 10 nanosecond, right? But there is, no, it is actually a step 1. There is no fault time at all, right? In the option D also, it started after 10, right? So we'll see what is going to be your options. What is going to be your options? Okay, right? Now we will solve it and see, right? See, just like that, you cannot guess the answer. I told you that first you have to guess, somewhat guess, and you have to work it out and see. See, now this is actually your circuit, right? Now, if the gate delay is actually, say some t nanosecond, then first draw the simple waveform of the gate and then just delay the whole waveform by t nanosecond, right? See, actually, first I'm just drawing, right? At a value equal to what? A value is equal to, I had given a step value which is, right, 1 high value, right? At t equal to 0, always you have to go for at t equal to 0. Then now B. Now what is your B? B is actually output of a NOT gate which is nearly actually 10 nanosecond, right? So you just from this reference point, you delay it by 10 nanosecond. Okay, because see, you can look at the waveform here. My A value is given as, it is from low, at t equal to 0 only it is high. Clear? So it is an inverter, right? So since it is a low value, I have to take high value. After 10 nanosecond, t equal to 0, one value they had given, t equal to 0, which is high value they had given, which is equal to VCC. But you will get the output only after 10 nanosecond. So after 10 nanosecond only, inverter will get low value. Okay. If I give 1, output of an inverter is going to be low, which is 0. So when you will get only after 10 nanosecond. Clear? Right. And next, the point C is output of AND gate. Now output of AND gate is actually the delay given here as around 20 nanoseconds, right? So 20 nanoseconds, right? So here you have a 10, you have here 20 nanosecond. So obviously now actually this is t equal to 10 and t equal to 20. Right? So here it is a low value. Output of B value is low. Here it is given as 1. Okay. So here it is going to be 0. So here it is going to be, so after t equal to 30, because 10 nanosecond delay in the inverter, 20 nanosecond delay in the AND gate. So after 30 nanosecond only you will get the low value. Clear? Right. So what is the XOR gate value actually? Your XOR gate value is also 10 nanosecond. Right? XOR gate value also 10 nanosecond. Now output Y you have to take. So here 10 nanosecond, 20 nanosecond plus either 10. So totally 40 it should cross. Right? So output is actually 1. So first I am giving 1 here. Output is 0. Right? Here AND gate output is 0. Other input of XOR is 1. So output is 1 only. Right? But all with the delay. So T equal to 10. Right, at t equal to 10, right, and t equal to 20 for AND gate, and t equal to I mean 30 AND gate and NOT gate, right, and XOR is 40. So you additionally you have a 10 for XOR gate. So 40 nanosecond only you will get the one output. Now you look at the waveform. Look at the waveform. It started at t equal to 10, right? At t equal to 30 it came down. Why t equal to 30 it came down? The reason is output of AND gate, right, 0. So it came down, which is in the low, right? At t equal to 40 it goes high. So the option is actually 10, 30, and it is actually 40, right? Now this is your answer. Option B is the answer. See, you have to very carefully you have to check. That is what actually the gate delay, always you start with the t equal to, initially t equal to 0, right? Before the wire delay we are taking it as a 0, so you have to take the t equal to 0 value. Understand? Right. Now we'll see the next question. Now expression for y of ABC in figure, the figure they had given it as a 4:1 marks, okay, where A, B and C are Boolean variable, which is they had given the options, right? Before going to the option, you just look at the inputs. I0 is given it as a 1 value, I1 is given it as a C value, I2 is given it as a 0 value, I3 is given it as a C value. So the selection lines here are A and B. Clear? Selection lines are A and B. Now, when I go for selection lines, actually two selection lines, I can go for a 4 combination, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So when I go for the selection lines as 0, 0, it will select I0. So if it selects I0, obviously the input for I0 is 1, right? Next, when it goes to 0, 1, I1 value equal to C. When it goes to 1, 0, I2 value is 0. When it goes to 1, 1, I1 value, I3 value equal to C. Now, the answer options given here are A bar, B bar plus A bar, BC, A plus BC, A bar, B bar plus BC, and AB plus AB bar into C. These are the options they had given. Okay, right. Now we will let me solve the question. So how will you solve? First you take 0, 0, right? When I take 0, 0, I may select I0, which is equal to 1, right? When I select 0, 1, right? That is 0, 1 means A bar, B, it will select C. Okay, and 1, 0 is 0, right? And 1, 1, A, B, when it selects A, B, it will select C. Okay, right. Now here you just see the options. Actually, when it selects 0, 0, it will select A bar, B bar. Obviously input is 1, right? So A bar, B bar I am writing here, plus when I select 0, 1, that is A bar B, I will select C. So I am writing A bar B C, A bar B C, plus. You leave this 0. Anyway, the value is 0. Next, 1, 1. When I select 1, 1, A B into C. So A bar B bar plus A bar B C plus A B C. Okay. Now A bar B bar plus I am taking BC as common, right? A plus A bar will become 1. So Y is equal to A bar B bar plus BC. So the option is C. Clear? It's clear for you. So if you have 0, you neglect it. Otherwise, you just connect as it is. When I go for a 0, 0, it is connecting I naught, which is 1. So C value no need to write, which is A bar B bar only. Plus when 0, 1, I am connecting with I1, which is A bar BC. Clear? And when I'm going for a 1, 1, which is ABC. So the answer is your option C, which is A bar B bar plus BC. Clear? So these are all simple questions. They have asked for 1 mark actually. Next, consider a 3-bit number. Now we will go for the multiplier. Consider, all of you please take a pen and paper and you please work it out side by side. Consider a 3-bit number A and 2-bit number B. This is a 3-bit number, this is a 2-bit number, or given to a multiplier. Given to a multiplier. The output of multiplier is realized using AND gate and 1-bit full adder. We all know that is for a multiplier you need AND gate and full adder you require. Okay. If minimum number of AND gates required are X, say for example, the number of AND gates I am denoting with X, right? And full bit adder, right? 1-bit full adder required are Y. So I am representing a number of AND gates required is X and the number of adders required is actually Y. Okay. So what will be the, how many number of gates you require? That is the question. Okay. Right. So it actually it is a 3-bit number. Right. It is a 3-bit number and it is a 2-bit number. What you have to do is you have to multiply. You have to multiply a 3-bit number with a 2-bit number. Right. So shall we multiply? Right. The options given here are actually 10. How many number of gates you require totally? Total number of AND gates and total number of adders, right? So 10, 1, 5 and 9. So we'll see which option is correct. Okay. Now we'll go for actually 3 inputs for A1. Okay. That is here actually 3, right? So here A0, A1, A2, 3 bits. And here it is B0, B1. You multiply. Now you multiply A0, A1, A2, B0, B1. So A0, B0, right? And then is B0, A1 and B0, A2. Then B1, A0 and then B1, A1 and B1, A2. Now A0, B0. A0 is one variable, B0 is another variable. So here these two can be can be joined with the AND gate. So A0 into B0. So A0, B0. Okay. Here it is C0, which is one AND gate. Right. So here again, see all this. Now you just first multiply how many number of AND gates you require. Right. See all product terms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I require 6 AND gates. Right. Number of AND gates required are 6. Now I am just adding A1 B0 plus B1 A0. Okay. Right. So in order to add, I need a adder circuit. Okay. Right. A2 actually this is B0 and then A2 B1. So you require another adder. Okay. And then B1 A2. Right. So you need 6 AND gates and you have 1, 2 and to add all these actually you need 3 full bit adder. Okay. Right. So totally, so 6 AND gates and 3 adder. 6 plus 3 which is equal to 9. It is as simple as that. Okay. So you please don't get confused with this and this. Right. You just see how many AND gates you require first. Okay. How many AND gates you require first. Right. And the next, because we all know that adder circuit requires an XOR gate and half adder circuit requires an XOR gate and an AND gate. Okay. Right. So you require here actually 6 AND gates and 3 adders. So your X plus 5 is 6 plus 3 which is equal to 9. So the option is D, right? The option is D. Okay, it's clear for you, right? Okay. So shall I move on to the next question? Shift register. Following shift register is initially loaded with the bit pattern 1010. Okay. After how many clock cycles will the content of shift register be 1010 again? See, this kind of circuit actually you might have seen in the first class itself. In digital electronics module, you might have seen in the first class itself. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to name it as A, B, C, D, or it's your option. Okay. So first you name it all the bits, right? MSB to LSB, you name it. Okay. And you look each and every bit. So here I am taking two XR gates. Okay. Now what they're asking, after how many clock cycles it will be again 1010. This is actually we will work it out on C. See, now the options given here are 5 clock cycles, 9 clock cycles, 7 clock cycles, and 15 clock cycles. Okay, this is the option given. Okay, now shall we go for the working? Right, see 1010, right? Now first I am taking 1010. Look at the circuit here 1010. Now if I give two different inputs, obviously output is 1. Okay, right? So here output is 1 and I am giving again the different input, so which is equal to 1. That is what we are feeding here, right? So 1010. So I'm taking two different inputs, right? So which is equal to 1, right? And then 0 again, it is combining with this bit, right? So obviously output is 1. Now this is 1. So it is a shift register. So first bit will come here, a second bit will be shifted in this position, third bit will come here. Understand? Right. Again, now you take these two bits, okay? These two bits 0, 1. So when I take 0, 1, the bits are different. So which is output of first XR gate is 1. Output of first XR gate is 1, right? And again, here I am feeding actually here what? 1. Okay. So in here I am feeding 1 here as per this 1. So here this is also 1. So both are same. Inputs are same means it is 0, right? So in the third one, so we are giving the serial input as 0. Now this is 1 and shifting to 1 and it is 0. Now again you have to go for this 10. Now in this 10, here I am giving inputs are different. When I give inputs are different, output is 1. What is the third bit I am giving here? 1. So 1 and 1 will give you again a 0, right? So the serial input which I am feeding at this most significant bit is actually it is 0. Clear? Right. So 0. Now again you shift all the bits. Again I am taking 1 and 1. When I am taking 1 and 1, it is going to be 0, right? It is going to be 0, right? Now 0 and 0 will give you again what is the value? The most significant bit will be 0. So if you keep on do like this, right? Again to reach 1010, how many clock cycles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you need actually 7 clock cycles, which is your option C. Clear? So it is you require 7 clock cycle. So this is the way you have to do. And I told you and I'm repeating again why we are using XR gate for any sequence generation, because on the only XR gate is it is very easy to generate high and low, high and low. That is a clock cycle kind of a circuit. A square wave generation is easy in XR gate. Clear? Right. Now we'll go to the next. Next, we'll see a flip-flop. In a JK flip-flop, we have J equal to Q bar. Whatever may be the J value, that is going to be for the Q bar. Right? That is going to be for Q bar. And next, and k equal to 1. K is given it as a high value. Okay. Assuming that the flip-flop was initially cleared. Initially cleared means it is reset and clocked for 6 pulses, and it is clocked for 6 pulses. The sequence at the Q output will be, what will be the sequence at the Q output? Initially it is cleared, right? And they had given the condition j equal to q bar and k equal to 1, right? And you need to go for, actually it is for 6 pulses. The sequence at the Q output will be, what will be the sequence at Q output? This is what you have to check. Okay, right. In order to check that, right, first let me start. My j equal to q bar, it is obviously given, whatever. So initially it is reset. Initially it is reset means what value? Shall we put the tabular column for this? Right. And before that we'll see the options. Actually it is 0 1 0 0 0 0 double 1 double 0 1 0 1 double 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 1. Okay, these are the options, right? Now with all given conditions we will put a tabular column. Okay, now my present state value, which is q, initially they have said it as a reset. Okay, initially they have set it as a reset, and you take your jk value, and then here I am going for the clock, and this is actually your next state q plus. Right, see, next state q plus. Okay, right. Now initially they have taken it as a 0. K value is 1. How I am writing j value as 1? Because j equal to q bar. So j equal to q bar means q value is what? 0. It is q bar, so it is 1. So 1 1. So when it is 1 1, what is the significance of jk flip flop? When both the inputs are high, right? So what it will do is it will change the present state. Okay, it will toggle the present state. So here j equal to 1, k equal to 1. Okay, so here q value is 0. So my next state is what? Q plus I am writing here. Next state is what? 1. So now this will become the present state now here. Okay, right. So k value is always 1. K is thrown as 1. It is given it as a 1 high value only. But j is, actually it is a q bar, right, which is equal to 0. So in the second clock cycle, actually what will happen? It is 0 1, right? In the case of 0 1, actually when j equal to 0, k equal to 1, it is reset only, right? So my next state is, actually it is 0. So then this will become the present state for q. Okay, present state. So this will become 0. My k is always 1. My j value is, which is equal to q bar. Right? Q bar. Right? So third one here. Now it is going to be what? Actually both are 1 1. It will change the state. It will invert the present state. Right? So it is 1. Now then this is going to be 1 here. So 0 1. Right? Now here it is, the next state is going to be for 0 1, k value is 1 and j is 0, means it is reset. So the sequence will be actually 0 1 0 1 0 1. It is your option D. That is what they have asked the question. See, the question is, assuming that the flip flop was initially cleared and clocked for 6 pulses, the sequence at the q output will be, underline the point, the sequence at q output will be. So it is 0 1 0 1. So if you keep on do like this, you will get 0 1 only. So it is option D. Clear? Okay. Next we'll go to the next problem. Now we'll go to the synchronous circuit. Actually, you have to tell me the answer immediately. Right? I am not going to work it out or anything. First, you just note the question and tell me the answer. It is a synchronous circuit, right? A 4-bit synchronous counter uses flip-flops with a propagation delay time of 25 nanoseconds each. Okay, a 4-bit, and see this. It is a 4-bit synchronous counter uses flip-flops with a propagation delay time of 25 nanoseconds. So each and every flip-flop will use 25 nanoseconds of propagation delay. The maximum possible time required for change of state will be what? What will be the maximum possible time required for change of state will be what? 25 nanoseconds, 50 nanoseconds, 75 nanosecond, 100 nanosecond. A 4-bit synchronous counter. It's a 4-bit, understand? It's a 4-bit synchronous counter. Uses flip-flops with a propagation delay time of 25 nanoseconds each. The maximum possible time required for change of state, what will be the maximum possible time? Can anyone answer? Can anyone answer? See, it is obvious. It is a synchronous, right? The difference between synchronous and asynchronous is what? Please. Now you can guess the answer. See, in a synchronous counter, actually, in synchronous, clock is given to all flip-flops simultaneously. Okay, am I right? Clock is given to all flip-flops simultaneously. Hence, time required for the change of state propagation time delay is what? 25 nanoseconds only. Because the clock is given at a time. Right? In a synchronous counter, clock is given to all flip-flops simultaneously. So obviously, the allotted delay for each flip-flop is 25 nanosecond. Only that much time only it will take. Right? It will not change. Because if you delay the clock and give, then only there will be delay also. Right? But here, all the, in synchronous counter, clock is given to all flip-flops simultaneously. So answer is 25 nanosecond. Okay? Clear? So this and all, you don't need to work it out. You need to think. That's it. Next, if a counter having 10 flip-flops is initially at 0, what count will if it hold after 2060 pulses? They're asking if a counter is having 10 flip-flops. So how many flip-flops? 10 flip-flop is initially at 0. All are reset. Okay. What count will if it holds after 2060 pulses? Okay. Now you have to check that. So how will you do that? See, 10 flip-flops will have a state from. First one is what? Initially, I told you it is a reset. That is what? Initially at 0. The final state is obviously 1. Okay. Right? So 0, 0, 0, all 10 zeros, and you take it as all ones. Okay. Right? 0 to, right? It is 1023. Okay. Right? So in you need to complete 2 cycles, right? From 0, 0 to 1, 1. Okay. In order to complete a cycle, it will cover actually 1023 to 2046 pulses. Here I made a small mistake here, right? 1023 to 2046 pulses. Okay, right? So in order to cover actually 2060 pulses, right? So how many you require, right? So 2060 pulses minus 2046. Understand? 2060 is given, right? 2046. Okay, right? You need to complete 2 cycles. Understand? In order to complete 1 cycle, you require 1023. This is first cycle, which is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And the next is all ones, all zeros and all ones. So actually it is what? 2 power 10. So 0 to 1023. Right? Similarly, you need all ones. That is also 1023. So totally 2046. In 2 complete cycle, it will cover 1023, which is equal to 2 times actually. Right? So 2046. For 0, it is 1023. For 1, it is 1023. So totally it is 2046. But you require what? 2060. So 2060 minus 2046, which will get a 14. Okay. So the answer is 0 0 0 0 0. 14 you convert in terms of a binary. Okay, that too in 10 bits, because you have a 10 flip flops, 10 bits you take. So your answer is actually D. Clear? Answer is D. It's clear for you? 10 flip flops we have a set and reset state. Initially it is a reset, so all 10 flip flops are 0. When I go for set state, all flip flops are 1. So 2 part 10 is actually 0 to 1023. Right? I'm writing in terms of decimal. That is what I have mentioned here. It as a D. Okay. Now to complete 2 cycle, so it will cover 1023, which is 2046. Totally how many pulses you require? 2060 minus 2046. So you'll get 14. So all zeros, and here it is 1110. Clear? Right. Shall I move on to the next? This is also based on counter only. In the following figure, the J and K inputs of all the 4 flip-flops are made high. J and K, all or the inputs are given it as a high. Okay. See, always you read the conditions carefully. The J and K input of all 4 flip-flops are made high. Okay. So when J and K equal to high, what will be the output? Output is actually it is the toggle the present state, or actually it will invert whatever may be your present state, it will invert. Okay. The frequency of the signal output Y is, okay, you need to find out what will be the frequency of signal at output Y is. Now the clock here, it is given it as a 10 kilohertz. Okay, and they had given all J and K value are high, and at the same time here I am using a NAND gate. You need to check what kind of a circuit it is. You are using a NAND gate. When I am using a NAND gate, actually if any one of the input is 0, output is 1. That is the condition of a NAND gate. If any one of the input is 0, output is 1. Now we'll check. See, the options given as 0.833 kilohertz, 1 kilohertz, 0.91 kilohertz, 0.77 kilohertz. Here they had given it as a clock value as what? Frequency equal to 10 kilohertz given, and J and K value is all value are high. Okay, right. Now see, output of NAND is 0 when Q3, Q2, Q1, Q0 have a state 1010. See how we are getting 1010. As I told you, these two are actually what? High state. Okay. So these two are high state. You take my Q3, Q2, Q1, Q0. This is Q3, Q2, Q1 and Q0. So present state, actually see whatever may be the value, right? So it will toggle here. So if I consider initially it is actually 0. When it is 0, my actually Q naught is 0. When Q naught is 0, right, obviously here it is going to be Q1. I told you that it will invert the present state. So this is 1. When this is 1, actually here we are giving, it will toggle the state which is 0. When this is 0, it will invert the present state, so which is equal to 1. So it is 1010. So I am writing 10 in terms of a decimal. Okay. So it is actually, it represents a mod 10 up counter, and you need to find out what is the frequency of the signal will be, right? So frequency of the signal is 10 kilohertz. Here it is given it as a 10 kilohertz. So we have counted it as a mod 10 up counter, so which is 10, right? See, n value is 10. So answer is 1 kilohertz. Actually it is very simple. First see, whenever they are giving in all exams, you can find one thing. They will try to give J and K value equal to 1, just to make you to solve it very simpler. Okay, J and K value equal to 1. When J and K value equal to 1, initially I am taking Q naught value as a 0. So what is the other one? Here also 1. When it is high, so it will invert the present state. So here it is 0. So it is going to be 1. Okay. So similarly, here it is 1. Again, it is going to be 0. So 0 means this is 1. Okay. Now here, if you even if you give it, it will clear only. The NAND gate will clear because any one of the input is 0, it is 1, but output we are giving, we are getting here it as a 1. So 1 0 1 0 10. So your F value equal to 10 kilohertz over 10, which is equal to 1 kilohertz. So the answer is actually 0.8331. Option B is the answer. Clear? Option B is the answer. Next. Now we'll see D to A converter. Determine the percentage resolution of 4-bit D to A converter. What is the percentage resolution of a 4-bit digital to analog converter? Right? It is 6.667, 0.067, 0.006, 0.667. Okay, it's a 4-bit. They had simply given 4-bit. So you know how to solve it. And they had given it as a 6.667. All the values are same, but only the decimal points is going to be varied. Okay, now we'll see how to solve this. See, you know the percentage of resolution for a D to analog, digital to analog converter is the formula is 1 over 2 power n minus 1. How many number of bits actually? It's right. It's a 4-bit. Right? It is 4-bit. The number of bits are equal to 4. Right? So 1 over 2 power n minus 1. So it is 2 power 4 is how much? Right? Minus 1. Right? So this is going to be 2 power 4 is 16. Right? 16 minus 1, 1 over 15 into 100. So answer is 6.66. See, you have to do into 100 because they had asked it as a percentage of resolution. Okay, in case sometimes what is the resolution, the value without percentage, you can take out this and you can go the value which you are getting. So into 100, so 6.66667. Right? So the answer is option A. Right? 6.667. Next, we'll see one more question. Analog to digital converter. When we go for analog to digital converter, it is given a 12-bit. So n value is given how much? N value is given it as a 12-bit. Okay, 12-bit ADC has input signal range of not equal to 1 volt. It means that is the maximum value is 1 volt, minimum also value equal to 1. This is the way you have to take. Okay, maximum amplitude value is 1 volt and minimum amplitude value is also 1 volt. Okay, this is how you need to take. And next, the signal to quantization noise ratio, if a sine wave signal with 0.25 volt peak. Okay, a signal to quantization noise ratio, if a sine wave signal with a 0.25 volt peak voltage is given as input is, right, 62 dB, 72 dB, 74 dB, 48 dB. The options given here are actually this one. So what you need to find out? Obviously, you need to find out signal to noise ratio. Clear? A 12-bit ADC has input signal range of not equal to 1 means don't take it as a 0 or something. Okay. So always analog to digital converter it is. So you need to take the maximum amplitude value is 1 volt and the minimum amplitude value is actually minus 1 volt. Okay. So if a sine wave signal with a 0.25 volt peak voltage is given as input is, you need to find out the signal to noise ratio. Okay, or signal to what is the a signal to quantization noise ratio. You need to find out. Now we'll solve it. See, n value is given it as a 12. As I told you, amplitude, maximum amplitude value is 1 volt and the minimum amplitude value is minus 1 volt. Okay, the signal in uniformly quantized into 4096 levels from minus 1 volt to plus 1 volt. Okay, that is 2 power 12 I am taking. The number of levels 2 power 12. So which is equal to 4096. Now you need to find out what is your delta value. Okay, So for that, actually A max minus A min, the difference in amplitude values over the number of levels, right? So the difference in values actually it is, right, 1 minus of minus 1 will give you 2 over 2 power 12, which is 1 over 2048. Okay, right? So actually as input signal has a peak value of 0.25 volt. Okay, 0.25 volt. So only have, you can have only 1024 level, right? You cannot take n power, that is n value equal to 12, because it is only a quantization, it's a rounding off, so you can take approximately n value equal to 10 around. Understand? See, they had given it as a 12, right? So here the input signal has a peak value of 0.25. Okay, right? 0.25, right? So in this 0.25, right? So how you will get actually here? You please check out. You please check it out. Actually, 1 divided by 2048, you will get actually 0.0048 of something. Okay, so half of it is actually 0.024. Okay, so it is around 0.25 volt. They had given the value. So what you have to do is you have to take, actually it is a 1024 level only. It is approximation quantizationally. Actually, you know that is signal to quantization ratio for analog to digital converter is, actually it is 1.76 dB plus 6.02 N, right? So we all came to a formula 1.76 dB plus 6.02 N. Okay, then 1.76 dB only. This is actually a correcting factor. Okay, a correction factor of your quantization noise. This 1.8, 1.76, I am taking it as a 1.8. This is actually a correction factor, right? 1.8 plus 6 into n value is, I am taking it as a 10. So 1.8 plus 60, which will give you 61.8 dB, right? This is a correction factor of quantization noise, which is 1.8 plus 6n. N value is, I am taking how much? 10. See, actual n value it is given it as what? 12. Since it is a peak value only 0.25 value, I am taking n equal to 10. So it is 61.8 dB, right? So the answer is how much? 61.8 is 62 dB, right? So the answer is option A. Clear? So with this, I'll come to the end of this session, and we will give some questions, quiz questions. You please try to answer it, right? If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the chat box. With this, I came to the end of the section. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you, Arun.
Dear participants,